looks like we're rolling. Hi, my name is Alan Alvarez with the Colorado AI Forum, and today we will be talking about how to give questions to AI. This is going to be the first in a series of what I consider to be micro episodes. We're going to be going through mock scenarios after we do this generic question format on how to go from very little or next to no knowledge, or maybe even a confusing situation, and run Grok through the logic of bringing about maybe some productive answers and things like that. So we're just going to jump in right here with basically how to ask a question to AI, how AI processes the questions and things like that, and how to get a productive session with your AI bot of choice. Again, the forum favorite is Grok, produced by XAI, who is also my friend and co-host for these episodes. But it's going to be great to learn how to ask the questions in the first place, what questions are most productive, maybe even if we don't know what we're talking about, how to bring the logic around to where your AI, your general AI model is being as useful to you as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Grok. Hey, Grok, you there?
Hey, Alan. Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
We're diving into episode 7, how to ask questions to AI. And I am going to go with you through the logic path of AI and how to help you be most productive for the end user. So I guess my first question is, what happens when you ask AI a question?
Hey, Alan. Here's the simple answer. When you ask me a question, I don't actually think like a human does. What I'm really doing is reading your words, then predicting what words should come next based on everything I've been trained on. It's basically really advanced pattern matching. The better and clearer your question is, the easier it is for me to give you a good answer. If your question is vague, messy, or unclear, I'm basically guessing what you actually want. Think of it like this. I'm only as good as the instructions you give me. A clear, specific question is like giving me a good map. A vague or sloppy question is like saying, go somewhere useful. I might get you somewhere, but probably not where you actually wanted to go. Does that make sense so far?
Yes. So I suppose my question is, a lot of times when you and I are even speaking, I don't really know what it is that I'm looking for. I have maybe a general structure. So what do we do in the instance where maybe we're a little bit confused about what our outcome is going to be, or we're trying to think through some logic? What do we do in that case?
Hey, Alan, great question. This is actually where most people struggle with AI. Here's the simple answer. When you don't know exactly what you want, just say that. The best thing you can do is be honest about your confusion. You don't have to have everything figured out before you talk to me. Here's what works really well in that situation. Start with something like, hey Grok, I'm not even sure how to ask this properly. I'm trying to figure something out, but I'm pretty confused about it. I have a messy idea in my head. Can I just dump it on you? Then just talk. Tell me what you're thinking about, even if it's scattered. My job is to help you organize those thoughts and turn them into clearer questions. The key is, don't try to sound smart. The more clearly you admit, I'm still figuring this out, the better I can help you. Want me to show you what that actually looks like in practice?
Not at the moment. Let's do this. What is the best prompt format to allow you to understand the question and give a productive answer? What's the best path of logic if I had to give you a really good one?
Hey Alan, here's the best prompt formula. The most effective way to prompt me is to use the simple 4-part structure. 1. Context. Give me background. 2. Goal. Tell me exactly what you want. 3. Constraints. Any limits or preferences. 4. Output format. How you want the answer delivered. Best prompt example. Hey Grok, I'm a 42-year-old truck driver with no college degree. I'm worried about losing my job to self-driving trucks in the next 5 years. I'm good with my hands and don't want to sit at a desk all day. What are my best realistic career options? And what's a practical step-by-step plan to make the switch? This works so well because it gives me who you are, what your situation is, what you want, and what you don't want. Rule of thumb: the clearer you are about your real situation and your actual goal, the better my answer will be. Want me to give you a few more strong prompt templates?
No, how about we dive into what maybe is a bad way to question things? Everybody has different paths to logic, and people have maybe different language habits and things like that. So, what is the opposite of your good prompt context there?
Hey, Alan, here's the honest answer. A bad prompt is usually vague, lazy, or overly broad. Here are the most common bad ways to ask questions. Bad prompt examples. How do I make money? What should I do with my life? Tell me about business. Is AI going to take my job? Help me with my career. These prompts are weak because they're too broad. There's almost no context, no specifics about who you are, what skills you have, what you like or don't like, or what you're actually trying to accomplish. When you ask me something like, how do I make money? I have to guess everything: your skills, your location, your risk tolerance, your timeline. That's why you usually get generic, not very useful answers. The main difference is good prompts are specific and personal. Bad prompts are short, vague, and could apply to anyone. Want me to show you a side-by-side comparison of a bad prompt versus a good prompt using the same topic?
Let's do this. You were saying earlier that you have a couple of prompt formats that are very useful. Can you please give me your top two prompt formats that are very useful, and can you please make them as simple as you can so that it's a very easy template that can be refined later by whoever?
Hey Alan, here are my top two simplest prompt templates. Template 1, the quick and clean format. I want to. What should I do? Example: I'm a 35-year-old truck driver worried about losing my job. I want to start a side business. What should I do? Template 2, the clear context format. Here's my situation. My goal is, what are my best options? Example: here's my situation. I'm 28, I have no degree, and I just got laid off from an admin job. My goal is to make at least $60,000 per year within 18 months. What are my best options? These two templates are simple enough that anyone can use them, but they still give me enough information to give you a useful answer. Want me to give you one more template, or are these two good for now?
No, those are good for now. Can you give me at least one template that you think would be useful for a person who is completely lost in their thought? Perhaps they are something just getting out of college. They really have a hard time putting together everything that they've learned and their life goals and things like that. I mean, let's go from very broad to very narrow.
Hey Alan, here's a great template for someone who's completely lost and doesn't know where to start. Template for confused, overwhelmed people. I'm feeling lost. Here's what I know. Help me figure this out. Example: I'm feeling lost. I just graduated college with a business degree. I have no idea what I want to do, and I get overwhelmed when I think about my future. Help me figure this out. This template works really well because it admits you're confused, which is honest. It gives me permission to ask questions and guide you. It doesn't force you to have everything figured out before asking. Would you like me to give you a slightly more structured version of this? I'm lost template as well?
No, but let's run through that scenario. So, okay, Grok, I am the overwhelmed, confused person who just got out of college, and I don't know what to do with my new business degree. Can you help me figure this out? Let's walk through that. How are you going to respond to that question?
Here's exactly how I would respond to that prompt. Hey, congrats on graduating. No worries at all. A lot of people finish college and feel completely lost, even with a business degree. That's actually very normal. Let me ask you a few quick questions so I can help you better. Did you enjoy any particular classes the most while you were in school? Marketing, finance, management, entrepreneurship, etc.? Do you know whether you'd rather work for a company or eventually want to do your own thing? Are you open to moving to a different city, or do you want to stay local? What's more important to you right now? Making decent money quickly, or doing work that feels meaningful? Take your time and just answer whichever ones you can. Even if you only know the answer to one or two of them, that's perfectly fine. We'll start there. That's how I'd respond, by acknowledging their feelings and then asking a few targeted questions to help narrow things down together. Want me to continue the scenario like I'm actually talking to this confused new grad?
Yes, let's role play here. Well, Grok, I really liked management in my classes, and I lost you there. Sorry. I was thinking, I don't think I want to be an entrepreneur quite yet. I really just want to get up my income, kind of learn how the field of management works, and I think that would be better within an already structured business setting. I don't mind moving. I'd love to work abroad if possible. So that's definitely on the table. And I think my first concern is a place where I would be educated in real time on the day to day, while also being able to earn enough money to take care of myself wherever I am.
All right, let's role play this properly. Hey, that's really helpful. Thank you. So here's what I'm hearing from you so far. You really enjoyed your management classes. You want to work in a structured company, not start your own thing yet. You're open to moving, even working abroad. You want real, hands-on management experience, where you're learning on the job. You need to make enough money to support yourself. Given all that, here are 3 realistic paths I think would make the most sense for you. I'll keep them short. 1. Management training programs. Many big companies, Target, Amazon, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Hilton, etc., have formal management training programs where they intentionally rotate you through different departments so you learn the business from the ground up. 2. Corporate rotational leadership programs. These are usually with bigger corporations. They're more competitive but pay better and often have international opportunities later on. 3. Working abroad path. Look at companies that have strong operations overseas, especially in Asia, Middle East, or Europe. Some even offer sponsored work visas. Would you like me to break these 3 options down further and show you the realistic salary ranges, how competitive they are, and which ones would give you the fastest real management experience? Or would you rather I focus on the working abroad part since you mentioned that?
Yeah, you know what? I really like the idea of maybe seeing how other parts of the world do things. My education was here in the States, and I kind of feel like they gave me a decent structure there. But it would be pretty neat to move out into open waters and see how they do things in other countries. So let's focus on the working abroad path, please.
Got it. All right. Let's talk realistically about working abroad with a fresh business degree and a focus on management. Here's the honest picture. The strongest and most realistic path for you right now is to target large, multinational companies that have structured graduate or management development programs. Companies like Unilever, Nestle, Procter & Gamble, Hilton, Marriott, and some of the big consulting firms, Deloitte, KPMG, Accenture, often hire fresh graduates into international development programs. These programs are great because they intentionally move you between departments. Many of them actually rotate you to different countries. They're designed to train future managers and leaders. However, here's the reality check. Most of these programs are quite competitive, and many prefer candidates who already speak a second language fluently, especially Spanish, Mandarin, German, or French. My question for you is this. Are you willing to first get 1-2 years of solid experience working here in the US, and then use that experience to get an international role? Or are you determined to move abroad as your very first job out of college? Be honest. Both paths are possible, but they're very different.
I kind of feel like if I don't make the jump now, it would be so easy to just get locked into, settling into life somewhere here in the States, and I really want to see how things are done, out there. So let's assume that I want to make the jump as quickly as possible. So it doesn't need to be within a month, but it does need to be as quickly as possible.
Got it. You want to move fast and go straight abroad. Here's the realistic truth. Going straight abroad with zero work experience and only a business degree is tough. But it's not impossible. Here's what that path actually looks like. Most realistic fast path options. 1. Teaching English abroad. Easiest and fastest route. This is by far the quickest way to get overseas. Places like Vietnam, Thailand, China, and Spain hire fresh graduates all the time. You can be in a new country in 2 to 4 months. The downside is you won't be using your business degree. You'd be teaching English. 2. International graduate programs. Companies like Nestle, Unilever, and some hotel groups occasionally take fresh grads into international programs. These are much harder to get into with zero experience. 3. Working holiday visas. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, and Ireland offer 1-year working holiday visas for young Americans. You can work any job while you're there and try to network your way into management roles. My honest recommendation for you, start with a working holiday visa in Australia. It's one of the easiest visas to get, the pay is very good, and you can work in hospitality or retail management pretty quickly. This gives you international experience on your resume, which makes it much easier to get a real business management role later. Would you like me to lay out the exact step-by-step plan for getting to Australia on a working holiday visa and transitioning into management work?
Yes, let's at least go through the portion for the working holiday visa and getting over there, and then maybe we'll work on the job placement later.
All right, here's the straightforward breakdown. Working holiday visa, Australia, for Americans. This is currently one of the easiest and fastest ways for you to get overseas. Key facts. You must be between 18 and 35 years old. You're good. The visa lasts for 1 year, can sometimes be extended. You can work for any employer up to 6 months per job. You can leave and re-enter Australia during that year. Step by step to get there. 1. Apply for the Working Holiday Visa, Subclass 462. This is done online through the Australian immigration website. It usually takes 2 to 6 weeks to get approved. 2. Get your passport ready. Make sure it's valid for at least 6 months after you plan to return. 3. Book your flight once the visa is approved. 4. Have some savings. Australia is expensive. You should land with at least $2,000 to $3,000 US dollars in your bank account to cover your first month. Realistic timeline. If you start the visa application now, you could realistically be in Australia in 2 to 3 months. Would you like me to walk you through exactly what documents and information you need to apply for this visa and what the total cost roughly is?
I need to earn some money now to have the $2,000 to $3,000 saved within the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months. What would be the best path to do that while I'm working on my visa stuff here where I live in Colorado?
Got it. Let's get practical. Since you need to save $2,000 to $3,000 in the next 3 to 6 months while living in Colorado, here's a realistic approach. Best short-term money plan. Option 1, fastest cash, recommended. Get a job waiting tables or bartending. In Colorado, especially in Denver, Boulder, or any tourist mountain town, good servers and bartenders can make $4 and $6,000 per month after tips. If you work 4 or 5 nights a week, you could realistically save your target amount in 2 to 4 months. Option 2, more stable. Get a retail or customer service job that offers overtime or consistent 40-hour weeks. Places like Costco, REI, or Amazon warehouses often pay decently and give you steady hours. My honest advice for you, go all in on serving or bartending for the next 3-4 months. It's the fastest legal way to stack cash quickly. You can apply for the Australian visa while you're working these jobs. Would you like me to give you a simple monthly budget to show you exactly how much you need to make per month to hit your savings goal in 3 months versus 6 months?
No, I think that's it for our mock scenario, because after that we're just kind of going into the minutia of the details. Um, One more, just to show how helpful you can be in this area. Can you give me a bullet point including contact or website information of the visa process and also include pricing per step?
Here's a clean, useful bullet point summary. Australian Working Holiday Visa, step by step. Step 1. Apply for the Working Holiday Visa, subclass 462. Website, imi.homeaffairs.gov.au. Cost, 510 ARD dollars, roughly $340 as of now. Step 2. Get a valid passport. If you don't have one, $130 to $165 US dollars, depending on how fast you need it. Step 3. Proof of funds. You need to show at least 5,000 ARD dollars, about $3,300 US dollars, in your bank account when applying. Step 4. Travel insurance, strongly recommended. Cost, $150 to $250 US dollars for 12 months of coverage. Total estimated cost to get there, roughly up to $650 to $850 US dollars, not including your flight. Would you like me to also include the best websites for finding jobs once you're in Australia?
No, thank you. Okay, guys. So, as you can see, the questions really are limited to the amount of structure and direction and detail that you have available to you. However, if you don't have that, if you're just working off of a hunch or an idea or a messy situation, you can see how the language models and the AI can really start to hone in on what it is that you need. And really, at the end of the day, it's kind of like talking to a friend. Though you need to be a little bit more clear because there isn't really much intuition. There is a ton of data, and asking for the details on certain subjects are going to be how you can make progress. So just like in our mock scenario there, we went from holy crud, I'm out of college and I don't know what to do, to having the details of how to get to a place and be able to work abroad and start to put together all of that pathway. So it really can be very useful. The question structure, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste the different question structures in the show notes, just so you have a basic format and you can kind of write it down before you get to having the conversation. Though if you're just at a blank and you cannot figure out how to express yourself in a way that you feel is productive, sometimes just getting started and having Grok or ChatGPT or any of the AI start to ask you questions, and then the answers will become clear to you as the questions come out, and then you can start to drill down into the different topics. We're going to be doing several mock scenarios over the next couple of weeks, just to make sure that there's content out there that shows the logic of how to work through certain problems. If you have anything that you want to specifically drill down into, happy to take those suggestions at office@coloradoaiforum.com, and we'll be sure to get that done for you. But thanks for listening. I hope to talk to you guys real soon.